Cardiovascular System Anatomy. Here is a detailed explanation of the cardiovascular system anatomy, which includes 1. Heart. The heart is the central organ in the cardiovascular system that functions to pump blood throughout the body. The heart is located in the chest cavity, thorax, slightly tilted to the left, and wrapped in the pericardial sac. Heart structure. The heart consists of 4 chambers: right atrium, right upper chamber. Receives deoxygenated blood from the body through the superior and inferior vena cava. Right ventricle, right lower chamber. Receives deoxygenated blood from the right atrium and pumps blood to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. Left atrium, left upper chamber. Receives oxygenated blood from the lungs through the pulmonary vein. Left ventricle, left lower chamber. Receives oxygenated blood from the left atrium and pumps blood throughout the body through the aorta. Heart valves. The heart has 4 valves that prevent backflow of blood. The tricuspid valve, between the right atrium and right ventricle. The pulmonary valve, between the right ventricle and pulmonary artery. The mitral valve, between the left atrium and left ventricle. The aortic valve, between the left ventricle and aorta. Heart circulation. Deoxygenated blood from the body enters the right atrium, passes to the right ventricle, and is pumped to the lungs to get oxygen. After the blood flows to the lungs and is oxygenated, it returns to the left atrium, then to the left ventricle, and is pumped throughout the body via the aorta. 2. Blood vessels. Blood vessels function as channels for transporting blood to and from the heart, and throughout the body. Blood vessels consist of 3 main types. Arteries. Blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart. The walls of arteries are thicker because they have to withstand high blood pressure. Aorta. The largest artery that carries oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to the rest of the body. Pulmonary artery. Carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. Veins. Blood vessels that carry blood back to the heart. The walls of veins are thinner and have valves to prevent backflow of blood. Superior and inferior vena cava. Drain deoxygenated blood from the upper and lower body to the right atrium. Pulmonary veins. Carry oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium. Capillaries. Very small and thin blood vessels that connect arteries and veins. In the capillaries, gas, nutrients, and waste are exchanged between the blood and body tissues. 3. Circulatory system. The cardiovascular system is divided into 2 main circulations. Systemic circulation begins with the left ventricle, which pumps oxygenated blood throughout the body through the aorta and arteries, then returns to the right atrium through the vena cava. Pulmonary circulation begins with the right ventricle, which pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs through the pulmonary artery, and oxygenated blood returns to the left atrium through the pulmonary veins. 4. Cardiac conduction system. The heart has a conduction system that allows for a regular heartbeat, sinoatrial, SA, node, located in the right atrium. Acts as a natural pacemaker that initiates electrical impulses for heart contractions. Atrioventricular, AV, node, regulates the flow of electrical impulses from the atria to the ventricles. Bundle of His and Purkinje fibers transmit electrical impulses to the ventricles, causing them to contract. 5. Coronary circulation. Coronary circulation is the circulation of blood that supplies oxygen and nutrients to the heart muscle, myocardium. The major coronary arteries are: left coronary artery divides into the anterior interventricular artery and the circumflex artery. Right coronary artery supplies the right side of the heart, including the right ventricle and certain parts of the right atrium. 6. Blood pressure and regulation. Blood pressure is the force exerted by blood against the walls of blood vessels. Blood pressure is affected by factors such as the strength of the heart's contractions, blood volume, and blood vessel resistance. Systolic pressure. The pressure when the heart contracts and pumps blood out. Diastolic pressure. The pressure when the heart relaxes and refills with blood. Blood pressure regulation involves the autonomic nervous system, kidneys, and hormones such as renin-angiotensin-aldosterone. 7. Function of the cardiovascular system. The main function of the cardiovascular system is to transport oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and other important substances throughout the body and transport waste products such as carbon dioxide and urea to the waste excreting organs, lungs and kidneys. This system is also involved in regulating body temperature, maintaining blood pH balance, and maintaining stable blood pressure. 8. Disorders in the cardiovascular system. Various conditions can affect the cardiovascular system, such as coronary heart disease, narrowing of the coronary blood vessels that reduces blood flow to the heart, hypertension, high blood pressure, a condition in which blood pressure increases, which can damage blood vessels and organs. Arrhythmia, a heart rhythm disorder that can cause the heart to beat too fast, too slow, or irregularly. That is a detailed explanation of the anatomy of the cardiovascular system. This system is very important to ensure that the body gets enough blood supply to function properly.